Coming up, what is the main theme, energies, situations coming up for Sagittarius in the month of March 2025? Intuition and manifestation. Very nice, Sag, okay? So you may have a specific goal, a set goal, or there may be a series of things that you're striving towards, okay? Or something you want to attract, something you want to align your energy with, something you want to create, usher in, etc., okay? But there's obviously like intent, okay? I'm really drawn to the intent side of it, okay? So the manifestation, yeah, that's part of it, but it almost feels secondary. It's your will that's being highlighted in the month of March. So your why, essentially, that's what's being highlighted. The universe wants you to really hone in on your why, because your why makes all the difference, all right? So it's great to say, oh yeah, I want to have a new house. Why do you want a new house, okay? What purpose would it serve? Is it just because you like the idea of having a bigger house? Or is it because it's going to be more functional? Or, you know, do you want a new house because you're looking to live in a certain location because of this, this, and this? You know what I mean? So your why is really being highlighted at this time, okay? So tell me more about this for Sagittarius, okay? About the why that is being highlighted around their wish fulfillment, their manifestations. 8 of Pentacles, yeah, because you've been actively working towards this, okay? So you're striving towards achieving a certain outcome or a goal. So it's not just that, you know, this is something you're wishing upon, right? You're proactively taking steps towards making it a reality. So you're trying to do your bit through tangible action, okay? You may be working very hard, okay? Maybe doing more hours, working more shifts. You know, maybe even you're looking at a side hustle or a part-time job, something like that. Something that will help you make this wish a reality, right? So I do feel like you're going to be working very hard in the month of March, okay? And it's great, you know, and it's being recognized, but the universe just wants you to be crystal clear on why you're working so hard towards this goal, you know? Like what purpose does it truly serve for you? What meaning does it truly have? Because it clearly has meaning. That's why you're working so hard to achieve it. But what is that? What is the driving factor behind that, right? Yeah, 6 of Swords. Is it because that's why this is coming up? The 6 of Swords. Is it because you're trying to flee something? Or is it because it's actually going to improve something? Being able to differentiate between the two is absolutely paramount, okay? Are you trying to run from something, or are you trying to build upon something, right? I'm telling you. So you need to look at this, okay? Because for some, you may be trying to flee or avoid rather than it being about improving or creating, right? So if it's about running, then you're being asked to look at that, okay? And what it is that you're trying to outrun or run away from. Because I don't think running is necessarily the answer, okay? So tell me more. The World card, exactly. So it's like trying to get away from something and put some kind of distance between you and what that is, right? But maybe that's not where you're going to find true closure. Okay, not by running from it, okay, but by facing it head on, okay, and creating that closure for yourself. Yeah, that's why the why is being emphasized, because I felt that from the beginning. Like there's something about the intent and the why behind it that is being highlighted here, right? And this is why we have it here, because you are trying to evade something, flee something, okay, avoid something. But the thing you're trying to avoiding is the very thing that you need to confront in order to create a true sense of closure. Then you can move on. Then you can build. Then you can create, right? So it makes a lot of sense. One more, please, for Sagittarius. Yeah, exactly. Judgment. Because I feel like it's crazy, because it almost feels like the more you'll try and run from it, you know what's going to happen? You'll be running so far that you end up running straight back to it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm seeing, you know, with that Judgment card. It's like, if you keep running and running and running, eventually you're just going to run straight back into the thing you're trying to avoid, okay? Because, again, there is something that needs to be addressed here, okay? So rather than fleeing something and expecting everything to just magically vanish, okay, by, you know, changing something, right? Changing your environment. It's like, no, address this first, then change the environment, right? Because otherwise, if you just keep running and avoiding and dodging and ducking and acting like, you know, it doesn't exist, what are you doing? You're suppressing. The more you suppress, what happens? It's just going to want to come back. It's just going to come back with more velocity. You'll just end up, like I say, you'll be running so far, you won't even realize you've done a whole circle, okay? And you'll come back on yourself. So I'm telling you, because the world is only so big, okay? And it's a circle. You will come straight back around to the very thing you're trying to outrun, okay? So are you going to do another lap? Or are you just going to face it and confront it head on so you can create what? Real closure for yourself, okay? Because that's what the universe, the divine is trying to help you with. Bring this to a complete conclusion, okay? So you have to face it head on. I know you don't want to, okay? There's a lot of resistance with that 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, right? But I'm telling you, if you create this closure for yourself properly, then you can start on completely fresh footing. You can start with a completely fresh energy, right? You can start a whole new chapter knowing that this thing, whatever this is, this situation, this energy, isn't trailing along behind you. Because I feel like something remains incomplete, unfinished, right? There is a lack of completion or closure here. But you have the ability to do that in the month of March, okay? Or at least initiate that. And then that's what's going to allow you to have a true sort of breakthrough, okay? A true shift in your reality. A fresh start, okay? A complete end, a finality, and a new beginning. It'll be worth it, because otherwise eventually you will be confronted with this situation and this energy all over again. And it may be more challenging that time around, okay? So any parting advice for Sagittarius, please? All right, so you have water, the overflow, number 12. Yeah. So again, obviously, you know, it does have an emotional impact. There is an emotional connotation to this, right? Because like I say, the change that you even want to create means a great deal to you, okay? And so does the situation you're trying to flee from. It has an emotional impact. If there wasn't any kind of emotional tie to it, you wouldn't have such a strong reaction of wanting to flee it, okay? If it didn't affect you emotionally. So, you know, it would just be more of an inconvenience rather than something you feel you have to just, you know, run away from and bury. It doesn't work like that. It's just like the shadow, okay? Because you got to remember, even in the collective conscious, there is a shadow, right? Yes. So that plays out in the tangible, in the physical as well. So just like your own, if you think of your own shadow aspect in your unconscious, what happens? When you suppress things, when you try to bury it, when you're trying to act like it's not there or it's not an issue, it festers, right? It becomes a wound, rotten, right? It becomes gangrene. And eventually it's going to get to the point where it makes you so sick, you have no choice but to deal with it in an emergency situation, right? It's like that, okay? You don't want to get to the point where it literally festers and it eats away at you. Absolutely not, okay? So you have the ability to address it now, before it reaches that point. I know that's a bit grim, sorry, but that was the best way I can describe it, right? That before it becomes such an issue, you can address it now, okay? So that's what you're being encouraged to do, okay? And then after that, then you're going to feel a lot lighter. Then there's going to be the shedding. There's going to be a lot of true catharsis that comes from that. And so what? You can start to truly replenish, right? So instead of trying to patch over a wound and all of this becoming like rotten, you know, all this is going to be clean. All this is going to be healed energy, right? Emanating from you, pouring into you, right? Pouring out of you. Yeah. So it's going to be so much healthier for you in mind, body, and spirit for you to just face this thing head on, okay? And like I say, create real closure for yourself. I know it can be difficult depending on what it is, but if you do that, Sag, I'm telling you, you're going to feel free, because what you crave, remember you're a Sagittarius, what you crave is feeling free. So if you want to truly feel free, You need to free yourself, and that is by dealing with the situation, okay?